Good afternoon, everybody. A couple of things before we get started. First, something that I'm sure you all will be very happy to hear. Production has started on Goodyear Cup Series Season 2, Race 7, I believe, at Sonoma. I've made some significant improvements to last season's track, and so I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be, at the very least, a pretty race, if not a entertaining one. Second one, and I don't mean to get all political on anybody, trust me, I'm not going to push any particular belief, but local voting was happening in my area for, like city council things, just really small stuff. But just wanted to remind everybody, get out there and vote. It's important, even in the small elections and whatnot. Anyway, right on to race car stuff. So, last week, we didn't have any Rick Ware racing guys except for the garage, but that doesn't matter, whatever. And so I had medium hopes, and it is still a little bit disappointing, but not last, which is good. We finished 683rd. We actually beat quite a few people. I don't know the exact count, but like 20 or something people. We are yet to break 100 points, but here we are, and look at all these people we beat. So, that's an improvement, at least a little bit of an improvement. Also, for the first time in a very long time, none of our 6 drivers, including our Rick Ware Racing garage driver, actually finished last. So that's an improvement, at least. Points-wise, we're still buried pretty deep. We're not last in the big league. If you look at my serious league, which only has about 100 people, we would be last points-wise for that, and we would have finished last. We're about 300 or so points out of next to last. So I don't know if we'll ever even be able to claw our way back to not last over the course of the whole season. But while we're talking about that 100-point lead, we'll talk about my serious team. It went okay. For the second week in a row, I'm left feeling a little disappointed because I had a great team going and it fell apart at the end. My mom actually showed me the current standings at the end of stage 1, and we were running 1-2. My mom was winning and I was in second place. My mom managed to hold on to that position for the most part. She didn't win, but she finished third. Hey, good for my mom. I finished in 11th. Once again, one of my drivers had a late race calamity. I had Kevin Harvick, who I know has been struggling lately, but he's been slowly creeping back at the end of races, and so I was feeling pretty good on him, and he was running quietly in the top 10 all day, and then he spun. So one of my guys always has to have a late race calamity. I also made the completely wrong decision with garage drivers. I garaged Kyle Busch, and that didn't work out. Although, I think the person I was going to put in for him was William Byron, and so he was ranked 5th, and so that's only 2 ranks, so only a 7-point swing here, which is not huge, but yeah, we had a pretty good team. Denny Hamlin ranked number 1. Denny Hamlin finishing in 2nd kind of killed even bigger points also, because I had Toyotas and Joe Gibbs as my bonus picks. So yeah, that was 20 points that went away with 1 position being lost. So that wasn't very fun, but still a pretty good day, all things considered. We did climb back up to 8th overall in the standings, and my mom, with her 3rd place, is now in 17th overall. Okay, so I think that about wraps up our wrap-up. Let's get right to picking our team for Talladega. We have a chance. It's the chaos race. Watch, like, this is actually going to be an all-star team, and then they're all going to wreck because it's Talladega. Unhand my fortune cookie. And my fortune. Your future is whatever you make of it, so make it a good one. Oh my god, it's an all-star team. We finally get an all-star team, and it's Talladega. Gosh darn it. Okay, we're keeping this, though. We're keeping this, because we need some points. And, oh man, we are real big on one team here, so The first driver is Ryan Blaney. I'm putting Blaney on the real team too. He's kind of one of the few all-star guys that I'm willing to put in at Talladega because he's a good plate racer. He seems to be there at the end a lot. The next pick, Joey Logano. 2 Penske guys. And I believe he is ranked number 2 in the odds for this weekend's race. Next one is 44. I don't believe that is anybody. Okay, so we will move on. Next pick, 35. Again, I don't think that is anyone. We will move on. Holy cow, this is looking like a strong team. This is actually happening. Wow. 45. Once again, nobody. But here's the next one. It's a Penske sweep. Brad Keselowski. Where did you go, Brad? There you are. Alright, so cycling back to 44, counting down, it's gonna be Dat Jones boy. Have you seen the Tuskegee Airman paint scheme that he's gonna run at Talladega this weekend? Oh, that is a pretty looking race car. Pretty much all of the RPM cars this year are on point. I'm not entirely sold on the Tide Ride. I love it except for the inclusion of Petty Blue. I think the Petty Blue is kind of clashing with the rest of the Tide scheme, but other than that, it looks great. The Armor All scheme this year is super awesome. And then this weekend, Tuskegee Airmen, cool to be honoring them, but even taking the context out, it's just a good looking race car. I love it. Alright, next number is 35, and I am sure a lot of people after Daytona have him on their team this coming week. I'm getting suckered into it too. I put him on my regular team. 35 will cycle down into 34. It's Michael McDowell. And then lastly, our garage driver is going to be 45, which comes down to Eric Jones, which is taken, and that'll come down to Ross Chastain. Good lord, we finally get a good roster, and it's at Talladega. We might actually get some points, or we'll all crash. Okay, so there is your team bonus points, or bonus picks. We are going heavily into Team Penske here. We have all 3 Team Penske guys, so if one of those guys can win, boy, we will have a big windfall of points. Anyway, here is my real team, my serious team where I'm actually trying. Ryan Blaney is my go-to super speedway guy. Austin Dillon I'm putting in. I mean, he's won at Daytona. I feel like he can probably keep the car relatively clean, probably get a decent finish. I think he's got some decent stats, maybe? No? I don't know. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I know everybody loves to call him Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and yeah, he's pretty aggressive on the plate track, but a lot of the plate crashes that he's been involved in, I don't feel like were his fault, especially there's a big one where Brad Keselowski pushed William Byron into Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and then the big one happened and Stenhouse got blamed by the fans, and it was completely not his fault. I'm not saying that he's blameless in every wreck, he's caused quite a few, but I think a lot of them that he does get blamed for are not his fault. But he's a good plate racer, so I'm putting him in. Michael McDowell used to quietly be a good plate racer. Now that he's won the Daytona 500, I'm sure everybody thinks he's a fantastic plate racer. I'm sure he's on a lot of people's teams. I feel like he's a good value pick, so we're doing that. Eric Almirola, he has had a horrendous season so far this year, but he has some great stats at Talladega. He leads active drivers in top 5 or top 10 finishes. I think top 10, yeah. He's got 5 top 10 finishes in the past 6 races, so I'm feeling good about that. And then for garage, I guess William Byron, just because I haven't used him very much, and he's won at Daytona before, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. So yeah, that's it. We finally got ourselves a stacked team here. This is, I don't know what this is. It feels weird. It feels surreal, and it kind of feels like it's not actually happening, and I'm just so afraid that it's going to all go horribly wrong because it's a Talladega. But finally, something interesting, at least. We got people to talk about now, so that is good. So I am excited to see how this goes. win or lose, I am excited. I hope you are too. Like I said, we got the stop motion is now in production, so that is great news. Things are going well in the world of the Goodyear Cup Series. So thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.